everyone, and welcome back to the OverMangaCast. My name is Sam, and this week, we're all still tired from Otakon, so we didn't read something. And it's just Matt, Jay, and I. Jacob's a hermit. He didn't come along.
Big shocker there. Let's go around and share our experience with Otakon. I think, bold of me to assume, I think I have the most experience attending Otakon. I've attended Otakon for I think this is getting up into the double digits, maybe 10th or 10th time attending. I don't know, but it's been multiple times, folks.
How about you, Matt?
Yeah, I actually, in case anyone doesn't know, we went to Otakon this week, which is the Washington D.C. anime convention. It used to be in Baltimore, but it's just East Coast nerds being nerds. Oh geez, yeah, probably I've been a lot. Less than Jay, but still a lot.
I'm the least experienced con attendee of the group. This was only my second time at Otakon.
First time in DC though, right?
Yeah, I had gone to Baltimore previously, also with you guys.
As is fun. So
Yeah.
let's go down with what we like this year. Badge pickup was incredibly easy. It was walk straight in and get things done.
Yeah, which was very nice because I had the longest drive. 5 hours on a wrong turn through Baltimore actually put me very far out of my way. So I was happy to just waltz right in, pick up my badge, and join in the festivities.
I think that was a major improvement because I remember, and this is just when they had first moved to the DC convention, and unfortunately, I think they did beat, the dreaded COVID lockdown by at least a couple years. But I think that was something that they were actively working on to make it more streamlined because with more space comes greater responsibility and making more people who are flocking into the DC area get a sense of what was expected. I feel like they weren't necessarily anticipating the influx for their new location in DC from Baltimore. So there were a couple years of growing pains where the Washington location had to kind of adapt on site. So it's good to see that they have worked out a system that seems very streamlined and user friendly because it was very, very, very chaotic before.
I can only imagine. Yeah, they had it down to a pretty good science when we were there.
Look, you haven't lived if you haven't been in a con line for 3 hours.
Yeah. It's always during like peak heat season too, because Otakon, for those who
Oh
know,
my
it's
God.
always near the end of July, early August, those weeks. So it's always like peak heat season. People obviously want to cosplay, they're gonna be out. There's always like a heat
Yeah,
warning.
I thought about cosplaying, and then I saw the temperature was going to be 100 degrees every single day, and I was like, well, nope.
It was 102 and like exaggeration here, but it had to be like 90% humidity. It was muggy.
Yeah, it had to be the humidity for me. So I did end up cosplaying, though. Similarly, I was on the fence because I'm like heat stroke, but cosplay, but heat.
If you were on that Chainsaw Man trip, not actual Chainsaw Man, we did see a few Denjis. I don't know how people would wear them. Well,
Ew.
a few of the actual like in the chainsaw form. I don't know how anybody wore anything involving a helmet.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like blonde Denjis were more there than like Waldos. It was ridiculous how many Denjis there were.
I think Denji has systematically replaced L cosplays. Those were the other low effort cosplays that were. I think there was only one or two that were like beautifully executed where I was just like, wow, you got me. So, I
Yeah.
mean, if you can pull it off, it's wonderful, but it is relatively low effort.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, these guys had gone to a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure panel, which I did not get to again because of my unexpected detour. I showed up late, but how did that go?
About that,
I don't want to bash anyone because I know it's hard to get a panel together, but like After seeing that JoJo's panel, I have never more felt like I was capable of running an anime convention panel. It was 20 minutes of content and 40 minutes of Q&A, which was mostly just people correcting the mistakes in the content.
So, the OverMangaCast panel coming 2024. No.
Look, if any convention is willing to accept us, I've really got questions about their standards.
Down to host a panel. I feel very confident. This could be an overinflated ego.
But yeah, so that panel was fun, if not interesting.
Mhm. Yeah.
People came out, enjoyed seeing the cosplay, enjoyed people speaking their piece, their entrance into the JoJo fandom, and there were some stands that were demonstrated for us. It was very lively.
Mhm. I saw a very good duo cosplay of Kira Yoshikage and Killer Queen.
Yes.
Oh man, but yeah, we didn't end up going to a lot of panels on the first day. It was just gamers room and it was mostly just the game room
And that one. Oh yeah, we also went to Artist Alley that day. Didn't we also catch the 18 plus panel that day?
We did.
Oh.
It was called The Greatest Asses of Japanese History.
Yeah, that one was you know how we said we're probably gonna. Oh, that one was bad.
Yeah, that one was a little rough. Most of our entertainment came from the fact that we that one did encourage heavy audience participation, and we made our opinions known. And another attendee a few rows in front of us took umbrage with our opinions, and so we got a lot of entertainment out of bantering with her.
Yes. So believe it or not, on the first night, we might have come back to the con a little drunk.
Look.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
We made some good decisions on where to have dinner, and whether or not that ended up being a good decision overall, open for debate.
I will stand by the fact that the greatest asses of Japanese history, when you then put up women who just do not have asses, you have just failed.
Yes, we went to The Greatest Asses in Japanese History, and nary an ass was found. We are still looking for it. If anyone else can find it, please send it to our email address.
OverMangaCast@gmail.com. We will accept booty pics.
Jay, I really need to ask you to stop asking the audience to send us porn. I would love you to stop doing that.
What are you talking about? It's a great idea. Well, yeah, that was day one, ending a very exhausted evening. I was definitely completely out of it after the drive.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a lot of Fridays. You spend so much time getting there. Uh, you really don't get a lot of the enjoy. You come crashing down hard on Friday is really what happens.
Oh yeah.
But somehow we still managed to get up like relatively early Saturday and back at it. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing with cons. You just kind of run off adrenaline and you're just like, I technically slept, but panel. Cosplay.
Gotta get to the dealer's hall and get that sweet, sweet swag.
Mm-hmm.
oh, we spent so much time in the dealers hall Saturday.
We really did. My feet were killing me by the end of it.
Yeah. Do not wear Vans. They have no arch support and are not good for walking in.
Mm-hmm.
To the surprise of no one, we've known this literally since we were teenagers.
Okay, I clearly didn't, but whatever. But yeah, Saturday we spent a good chunk of time in the game hall too, because a lot of fun games
yeah.
in there. I know we did a round of Battle Stadium Dawn, which, if you're not familiar with, on the GameCube, they released a Smash Brothers style fighting game with Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, and Naruto characters. Hence the Dawn. It's
Mhm.
it's dumb, it's fun, it's in
I
retrospect not great, but
I think somebody remapped the controls of one of the controllers because I kept asking, "How the hell do you do a super?" And people kept saying, "Press X," and I'm like, "That's making me jump. What are you talking about?"
yeah, here, man, someone remapped the controllers or Sam's bad at video games. You know, what's more likely?
The fact that it objectively was different from yours.
Eh, Sounds like excuses.
I mean, as the prince of all Saiyans, I've lost horribly, but then we did a match of like 3 Narutos, and as soon as we learned how to spam the Rasengan, that was it.
3 Naruto and a Sasuke.
Just like all those fan fictions.
They also had a cool setup of like classic Japanese arcade games. And I know we played a rhythm game there that was literally just people line up and you punch them in the face in time with a beat. Very fun.
Oh yeah, we also tried the Persona Dancing All Night, and that one has a very confusing control layout if you're not used to it. Matt and I had a not great time trying that one. I desperately just wanted to get to the drop of Light Up the Fire in the Night, but after like a dozen tries, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, these two sure loved ragging on how I don't know how to play rhythm games up until they
I
tried.
I did not rag on you at all.
That's a lie.
It's the truth.
Okay. But yeah, we didn't go to a lot of panels Saturday. I know Jay split off for a bit and went to a few.
Yeah.
Any of those you got a highlight for?
So I went to the Yurei, not Yurei Japanese Ghost panel, which was really interesting. For those who have listened previously to my reactions, I am a horror, both Japanese, Asian horror. I tend to gravitate to those kinds of things. So it was really exciting, interesting to kind of deconstruct Japanese horror and more about the origins, stories, types, all that stuff. It was really fun. It was that opportunity for me to nerd out about horror and Japan. Aside from these guys, I know they probably would be bored, but it was fun for me.
Yep.
And then
Probably better we didn't go to that, considering our track record for being bored at other panels was to start heckling. So,
yeah, probably a smart move and all around.
And then I also attended the Kings of J-pop Japanese boy groups that you need to know. Very, very thorough, well researched, and well coordinated panel. If I could, I'm not able to recollect the who held the name of the person who held the panel, but very knowledgeable, very passionate, very good panel. If those of you who are interested in music, Japanese pop music specifically, definitely would encourage you to not sleep on those J-pop, K-pop panels. They are fun, especially this one. It was not super cringe. I know a lot of people kind of are afraid of that. It was very informative. And yeah, I potentially would be interested in having a panel similarly, but probably on a different genre of music. But yeah, it was fun.
Fully endorsed by Jay.
Yeah.
yeah, meanwhile, we were still dealers hall shopping. We got a bunch of things we really didn't need.
We got so much. Okay, actually, Saturday, there wasn't that much. I at least personally was pretty gun shy about getting stuff at that point. It wasn't until Sunday when it was like, oh, it's the last day. Let's just go hard on it.
We need everything.
Yeah. We need everything.
The only thing about it is you can't really press pause and not, peek over the 2.5 days, because if you hold everything till Sunday, things are going to be sold out, or there's going to be like chaos because everyone kind of is like, oh, there's not that much going on. Let's all go to the dealer's hall,
And more importantly, you're like, we're at an anime convention. We should get anime themed things. Oh, wait, are those better Nerf guns? Better keep going back to that stand.
We went to that stand so much. Man, there was one pin stand. Shout out to Red and Blue Wares. They had these absolutely delightful pins. I ended up getting a pair, quartet, I suppose, of Hollow Knight pins because they were these little paired things hooked by chains. And they said that I would get a discount if I came back, and I never got the chance to. And I still really want your Baojan pins from Bayonetta 2, please. that it they had some excellent stuff. But also the better Nerf guns. We went to them like 5 times.
We should also say their name is Dart Zone.
Dart
Not a
Zone, yes.
sponsor, but dear God, if they were,
If
we
they
would
were,
sell out so fast.
hit us up.
I'm now just looking at their website now, and I see the Outlaw, their 6-shooter, is now on sale. So that's going in my cart.
Yeah, a 6-shooter with like full like hammer action. Like you got to put some pressure on the thumb to pull it back. And was that the one that also came with the extra attachment so you could fan the hammer and just cowboy shoot it?
So there is a mod they sell that allows you to lower the grip strength of the hammer so that you can fan it.
Yes.
Also, looking at this now, it looks like if you buy it, it comes with a pair of safety glasses. Which, considering what it felt like shooting those, yeah, probably a good idea.
Yeah, those things are powerful. I had the minigun one for an unreasonable amount of time, and I would not point this thing at someone's unprotected face.
Typical is if it is any type of, what do you call, projectile, don't put it in someone's face.
Mm-hmm. Was that all? That was also the day where we went to the or where we found the cars, including the big truck with the waifus on it.
Yeah. They've been coming to Otakon for a few years now. The people who do the anime wraps on their cars it's something to see.
Yeah, I like seeing them in the wild too. I have seen actual customers of that shop, and apparently they're larger than life.
Look, if you're ever going to drive your anime wrapped car somewhere, Otakon is the place to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Saturday was also the day that we got caught in the historically powerful thunderstorm.
Yes,
It's literally one of the worst storms DC has seen in years.
So one of our friends who had shown up wanted to go to a particular cosplay meetup, and so she wisely left the dinner that we were having to get there in time. That was about when the sky opened up.
Yeah.
Leaving Matt, Jay, and I pinned in the restaurant for a very long time.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We camped out at the restaurant bar and just watched the rain come down and people come in drenched and watch the trees desperately look like they were about to break.
Matt, hero that he is, at one point when it looked like the rain wasn't too bad, went to go get an umbrella because again, Jay and cosplay. But yeah, the rain it got worse at about that time.
And that's when we knew that this was not just an ordinary thunderstorm. This was the thunderstorm of the summer.
So on my trip to get that umbrella, I did see another street where a tree limb had ripped out and shattered a table that was like out for outdoor seating. Yeah, that looked bad.
It was wild to walk past the next day when the sun was out and nothing was happening. So that was a good bit of fun. It kept me from going to that particular cosplay meetup. I was not in cosplay, but it was from soft characters, and I would have liked to see that. Such is life. So yeah, that was Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday, the final day. Or was there anything else we wanted to talk about on Saturday? We did catch. Jay caught the entirety of it, but Matt and I caught the tail end of another panel concerning horror content, horror anime and manga.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we actually walked in right as they were talking about Zom 100's anime.
Yeah, that kind of killed the vibe for me because I'm like, that's not a horror, but okay.
Yeah, I think people like were just looking at zombies, horror, blood. And I'm like, that's really not the entire point of.
I take it back, actually. I guess technically the definition of horror as a genre is literally it has a monster in it. So
Yeah.
I guess technically
Well, not necessarily, because there's also psychological horror where the monster is not always like.
Psychological horror, though, the monster is abstracted into the psychology. That's what makes it psychological horror.
Yeah.
Horror as a genre kind of is crucial to have a monster in it.
Yeah, it was just kind of funny in a cosmic sense where it's like we're in this horror panel. We had showed up right as they were finishing up a clip from this like Lovecraftian thing, and then they played a clip from the Zom 100 where it was the main character proclaiming his ecstatic joy at his freedom from his dead end job, and the like beat was dropping on the soundtrack, and that was about when the clip cut off. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you didn't want the hype up music to fully start playing. It was pretty good though. Unfortunately, I was too tired for the next panel that Matt went to after that, so I
Yeah,
retreated for
I
the day.
so yeah, we picked this out on the schedule because it sounded really funny. It was 90s hentai, and I'm like, I'm gonna go with all my friends. And then we come out of the horror panel, and everyone's like, we're tired, we're going to bed. And I'm like, you guys are losers. I'm gonna go make
Yes.
new friends at the hentai panel. And then I talked with very awkward people and one pretty cool guy at the hentai panel.
Yes, at this point, Matt was very inebriated.
We all were, to be fair. To be fair, we all were at this point. And
To be fair, we were late coming into that panel because we were settling a bar tab, but I make friends.
Indeed. I wish I had gone to that, but I was falling apart.
Oh, it was a pretty good panel. It was basically just insane scenes from like 90s hentai.
Hell
Anything
yeah.
hot?
Not really. There's definitely some stuff that I won't talk about on this podcast because it's definitely not okay anymore. But in the context of someone paid money to have this made, it's pretty funny.
Oh,
Gotcha,
God.
gotcha.
Alrighty then.
So yeah, and then Sunday, day 3, we again spent some more time in the dealer's hall because that last day fervor, you got to go snatch up all the stuff that you want. And our final panel of the convention was the most important one of all. That's a baseball.
Oh, I was so happy because it was a panel just about not about sports anime specifically. It was about why some anime will just randomly have a baseball episode with no explanation otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. It was just out there examples. It was just randomly playing baseball for no reason. Or because it's plot relevant, or because it like sets up that it's breaking up a very serious tone with a weird episode where something just random happens. And then it finished off with the episode of Samurai Champloo where they play baseball to the death.
Yeah, homie had like 90 examples. That guy went hard.
I really wish I had their name because they said they'd only done this was their first time doing panels and this was their third time doing a panel ever when we saw them, and they knocked it out of the park to knock the pun on the head there.
Yeah, I'll see if I can't find my con guidebook, and we'll put that in the description. That person was 11 out of 10 panel host, which was a good way to end our time there.
All in all, would recommend, and not going to make anything committal, but keep your eyes and ears out. We might be active in the next time around.
More than
I'd
just
be up. I'd
more
be
than-
up for it.
more than just having our logo on a few stickers that were on like 2 pieces of stuff that we had.
Yeah, you got to give stickers out when you can.
Exactly.
Be more aggressive with stickers.
All right, so to wrap up here, favorite piece of merch that you got?
Oh,
Ooh, good one.
I don't have a single piece.
I have one. I got this completely on a whim. It's a little Agumon figurine. That's just him with his little claws up, and it's just a solid piece. It just a little Agumon. I love it.
That's very good. And see, there's a lot of good ones, but the one that like sticks out in my mind is my favorite just for the how hilarious it is. It's a sticker of Samus from the Metroid series in full power suit hitting the dab. I need to find something worthy of bearing that sticker. How about you, Jay?
So it's a small thing. Well, it's not a small thing. So I got a Fujita plush, and it's so cute. And every time I look at it, it makes me smile and think of Denji.
Yeah, little chainsaw dog.
Yes.
So angy.
He's so angry!
He very mad.
Oh.
So yeah, that was our time at Otakon 2023. I'm looking forward to going out and hitting up the con again in future years.
Yeah, and you know what? I think this con really kind of reignited a con bug in me because the other ones had a very COVID atmosphere about them, and this is the first time I've been to like an anime convention where it's solidly post COVID.
Mm.
And it kind of reminds me that these things exist and you can just go out into the world and do them. So, you know, hey, if you know any cool anime conventions, let us know. We've done stupider things for less reason, you know?
Exactly.
That's a tagline for this fucking podcast. We've done stupider things for less.
And if you want to hear more of that, make sure to tune in next Thursday where we're going to be reading something.
Oh, yeah, we should really hop on that reading.
Yeah. Look, cons are exhausting, man. My feet hurt for like 3 days.
I'm tired.
I'm tired. I want to sleep.
I don't like all the fun I had and the fact that I poisoned my body.
Somehow didn't get con flu. I consider that a nat 20 on the Constitution save.
Well, you know, cough medicine is like 90% alcohol. So really.
Anyway, that's us for this week. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. The OverMangaCast would like everyone to please drink responsibly.
No.